Arthur C. Clarke, writer of 2001: A Space Odyssey and inventor of the communications satellite, now in retreat in Sri Lanka to escape his mounting student loans, where he ponders the mysteries of this and other worlds. But mostly this world.
One of the greatest mysteries of all time, of the past 6 months, has been that of the creature known as the Obscure. Is the Obscure a man, a yeti, or one of those devices that comes pasta so the noodles don't stick to the bottom of the pan? The only known evidence of the creature is this amateur video, taken in the year 2010, the year we made contact.
Ah!
Cryptozoologists, anthropologists, and cetologists have argued that the video is authentic. However, archaeologists, paleontologists, and gynecologists remain skeptical. I, for one, believe that the video is a bunch of bollocks and we shouldn't bother with it. However, a new video has appeared that has sent the scientific community into a frenzy. It purportedly shows a creature that resembles the fabled Obscure. This video is known as Memory Lane.
Officer Clark, a man who writes in the dark.
There's something I love about the unknown. The great mysteries shrouding our world in uncertainty. There's another man who felt the same way. His name is Arthur C. Clarke. In 1980, ITV in the UK gave Clarke Bar the half-hour program Mysterious World, where the author explores the mysteries of this and other worlds. But mostly this world. From UFOs to Bigfoot to ghosts, if it didn't have a discernible answer, then it was ripe for picking. Not since Isaac Asimov's Dance Party has a sci-fi author so successfully brought their brilliance to a TV program. The show usually dealt with obvious themes like lake monsters and aliens, but there were also a few overlooked subjects like ancient machines, premonition, unexplained photography, and the swimsuit special. Apparently one of the biggest audiences for Mysterious World were children. Children love the unexplained, particularly when they get to that age where the world starts to cement around them and it feels like there's nothing left to explore. It's reassuring to find out that there's plenty left to imagine. And little left to the imagination. Each episode would start with Clarke introducing the day's subject, while also visually bragging about his Asian retreat. Look at me, I'm a retired scientist enjoying my fancy tea in a fancy little patio. Let's talk about ancient Egypt. Ancient Egypt is scary.
I hardly sound like that.
After Clarke waxes his poetic, a narrator takes over for the remainder of the episode. In Series 1, it's newsreader Gordon Honeycomb who sounds like he's in a perpetual state of melodramatic monotony.
Woodman's gondola of reeds is based on the traditional boats of Lake Titicaca.
He's so dry and British he keeps a straight face even when he says Titicaca. The show itself has the tendency of sensationalizing things. Things that are barely mysterious. For instance, here's an episode about cryptozoology.
But the mystery of the king cheetah, for 50 years the obsession of white hunters in southern Africa, does now seem near a solution.
A year after this episode, the king cheetah was found to be a regular cheetah with abnormal markings. Not there.
This is the only known film of the striped king cheetah.
But the damn music makes you think the cat comes from Planet X or something. I mean, listen to this. Ooh, recessive genetic traits. You know, now that I think about it, the show actually kind of scared me as a kid. Not only did it tackle eerie subjects like poltergeist and voodoo curses, but the actual presentation was just unnerving. Black and white photographs, freaky music, and unnecessary zooms. Unnecessary zooms? Unnecessary zoom! Ah! Whoa! Whoa! Ah!
Stop that.
Speaking of scary, let's focus on a story that comes from the second rendition of this series, known as Arthur C. Clarke's World of Strange Powers. It centers around a seemingly ordinary photograph.
Mabel Chinnery took this picture of her husband Jim, and her mother appears to be in the back seat. But the Chinnerys say they had just photographed her grave. Her mother had died a week before.
Absolutely terrifying. The mother-in-law that just won't leave.
The most extraordinary thing about this is that she always used to sit on that side of the car when she was out with me, so that she could talk to me and see me as I was driving.
What do you got a new car anyhow? I never liked driving with you, not one bit.
I'd also like to show you this photo, taken from inside a church. Yeah, that'll give you nightmares as a kid. Looks like an Eastern Orthodox Silent Hill monster. Towards the end of the episode, Clarke would reappear to add his insight to the subject.
Is it possible that adolescents can possess powers which they lose in later life, I think it's very unlikely.
Usually denouncing the entire subject as fake. You know, the show should have been called Arthur C. Clarke's World That Is Largely Misunderstood and Therefore Not Very Mysterious. Parts of the episode even worked to debunk certain mysteries.
Perhaps the best explanation, then, Tim, is that some mistake has happened here. Some very short exposure sometime before has been superimposed upon the picture of the car.
Oh, so then this scary picture is fake and I have nothing to worry about?
At this stage, there's anything unusual about the picture at all. So I think our conclusions from this is that it's unlikely to have been built up by a superposition of photographs. So this could be a candidate for a ghost.
Oh, well, great. These benign phantoms are just camera tricks, but Monastic Pyramid Head is completely legit and walking the earth at this very moment. I knew I avoided churches for a reason.
If ghosts could be photographed, by now we'd have entire galleries full of portraits. But we don't.
Oh. Well, thanks, Arthur. Your skepticism is very reassuring. Actually, it really is reassuring, because it would be easy to write Mysterious World off as an old man chasing fairies and dragons. Except Clarke brings counter-arguments to the stories. But with so many false testimonies and fairy stories, it'd be easy to get sucked into a cycle of lies. It takes a brilliant mind like Clarke's to present this subject with any air of credibility.
Fractals give me a hard-on.
What a brilliant mind. And a lot of the experts on the show had brilliant minds.
And using much better X-ray equipment.
And absolutely no camera presence.
You see here a ceramic pot.
And it is quite a problem to begin to study.
You see a copper cylinder.
Alternating whiteys and blackies.
Exactly the type of...
tremors.
And every...
shall we say, less lively.
Putting now some of the grapes.
It is just incredible.
Even Arthur himself is a little awkward sometimes.
If the societies that produce them had continued to develop their technologies...
If I go crazy, then will you still call me Superman?
Don't make fun.
Now, there are plenty of science guys to choose from, but I think these two are my favorite. Hey, move, you're in the shot.
Oh, what is all of this you have?
Well, a jungle machete, a jungle hammock, some medical supplies for the tropics, and a backpack.
Where are you off to with it?
Well, you may not believe this, we're off to Africa to look for dinosaurs.
That look says it all.
I would say the snake I saw there was close to 50 foot.
The top of the stick was just moving backwards and forwards.
I don't want to make people's lives better by giving them somebody else's money.
So whether you're a skeptic, a believer, or a skeptical believer, you'll find something to enjoy in Mysterious World, World of Strange Powers, and the last incarnation, Mysterious Universe, which took place entirely on Earth. There were numerous other shows like Sightings, The Unexplained, or In Search Of, but they didn't hold the same weight because they didn't have the master of science fiction and science fact. So if you need a campy 80s science thrill, then pop in a copy of Mysterious Something and get ready to glide across the unknown with Arthur. Or you could just take some morphine like I did in between takes.
The video looks authentic, but I believe it's all rubbish. Without a date, time, barometric reading, or a pH balance on the back wall, it could be a video of anyone at any time. In fact, if I were to put on this white wig, I myself would look like the obscure. But that's ridiculous. I am not the obscure. However, the computerized internet is truly a modern wonder. It creates a new tool for us to explore our world, and it belongs on a list of the great inventions of the 20th century, along with microchips and the communications satellite. I couldn't pat myself on the back for that one. But the internet is still a mystery. A mystery I predicted back in 1964.
The whole world will have shrunk to a point, and the traditional role of the city as a meeting place for man would have ceased to make any sense. In fact, men will no longer commute, they will communicate.
Is this story true? Did a man named Arthur C. Clarke watch a show called Memory Lane? Well, this Science fact is all a work of science fiction. Join me next time on Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction, where we will discuss Isaac Asimov's Dance Party. Was it a great show or the greatest show? Good night.
Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction. We hope you enjoyed these Twilight Zone rejects. All stories are fiction unless specified otherwise, in which case they're mostly elaborated or made up. Names have been changed to protect Jonathan Frakes from stupid fangirls. Internet. There's no such thing as the internet. What else is on?
Do you remember that old TV show, Arthur C. Clarke's Mysterious World?
Post-credit stingers. There's no such thing as post-credit stingers. Why would you put something after the credits, the end of the show? That's just stupid. There was another man who felt the same way. His name was Arthur C. Clarke.
The Ministry of Way Radio is coming up on Thursday, March 1st. Please be in much prayer.
Ace meteorologist, Mike Burris, is mostly cloudy with a chance for showers tonight and an overnight low of 54.
That's not Mike Burris.
Your one-stop source for relevant Bible teaching. WAYR, Orange Park, Jacksonville.
The Bible tells us that even Jesus, the Word made flesh, experienced temptation. Of course, he never succumbed to it. I wish I could say the same. Temptation is part of life, including your financial life, especially your financial life.
That's enough of that.